Okay guys, we're ready for lesson number 2, and this is what we call the pivot, and it's also going to be one of the stages you're going to do when we get outdoors today in our drill. Robbie, you can go ahead and look at this photo right now. It's a little further along. What do you notice about him right now? Is there anything different that you've noticed from the other couple of pictures?
Looks like he picked his foot up and turned it sideways and is looking down.
Exactly. That's the two critical things that have happened different from the first time. We notice right now that the foot has turned or made a pivot, and we notice that he's looking down. Okay, great. Very good, Robbie. Let's look at another Major League pitcher, and if we look at this photo right here, you can see a trip? You guys see right there? What do you notice? Same type of thing. You see him looking down, and you see that the foot has made the turn, or what we call a pivot. All right, now just for discussions, I want you to see one more right now, and here's a ball player with the AAA level, guy a step away from the major leagues, and if you look at him, there's a major difference that he's doing right there, is that as he's starting to pick his foot up and pivot, he's not. He's looking straight ahead at the target. All right, now a lot of coaches get all concerned over that, and there's a lot of debate whether as you pivoting, now remember, so for continuity purposes, our first thing was we 45 transferred, that took our weight off our pivot foot, allowing us to pick it up and turn it, okay? And we're going to go on to picking up our target. Some players are looking down, some aren't. Now let's discuss that. The reason, I believe, is that as the pitcher starts to pivot, you're stepping down off that rubber just a little bit. And I think it's just natural sometimes to look down to see what your feet are doing there so you don't trip yourself up. Now there are some coaches or a school of thought that believe, well, when you're looking down like that, you can get some type of a concentration of what you want to do further on in the cycle. My research has shown the only time the major leaguers in general always pick up the target is after they reach the lift and load position. So remember that, because I'm going to be talking to you about that later. All right, so again, we notice that the players are going ahead and they're picking their foot up and turning it and pivoting. Nothing more than that. Some look down because of the little step down they're going to make there. No big deal. And I urge you, don't get hung up in it. For my personal opinion, with you young guys, as you go ahead and make your pivot, it's a good idea if you want to sight your target at that time, but it's something that's not to get hung up on whether it's either really good or bad. I'm just sharing with you information that a lot of times it's done both ways. Now the crucial thing is, after we pivoted, we're going to reach another position, which I'm going to talk about in lesson number 3, and that's going to be called the lift and load.
Remember, the pivot is the vehicle that takes the pitcher from a relaxed, comfortable stance to the lift and load position, the focus of our next lesson.